back, let's move our focus and take a look at the financial news driving the Nigerian fixed income and forex market. And for that, we are joined by Kubi Momoh. She's head market risk at UBA. Kubi, it's great to have you on the show. Now, I know there was a WDAS auction today, $300 million on offer, 300 million sold, which is the same as on Monday. Now, on Monday, the Naira had support from oil inflow. So good for you to start, first of all, by giving us an insight into today's WDAS auction.
We had last Monday. Demand has been pretty strong. Other than the holiday last week, Wednesday, we've been seeing consistently 300 and off and 300 sold, but the rate has remained constant at 155.75. So very constant since the beginning of the year, but demand showing a strong upward trend.
Okay, but your thoughts on where the Naira will close this week?
Oh, the Naira has had a lot of support, but that's from the autonomous market. There have been some oil majors. Yesterday and today, there was the presence of oil majors on the supply side. So the Naira strengthened below 158. Yesterday, well, it closed yesterday at about 158.20, opened at 157.70 and closed about those levels, 157.75. So we're seeing some good support for the Naira. Anytime it's sub 158, where it shows we're seeing support and appreciation in the autonomous market.
Now, of course, a primary market auction expected today. So start by give us some insight into that auction.
The results are actually out. We've seen depreciation along the curve, and something that's very interesting. One of the things that happened this year was that in response to behavior from FDIs, foreign investors, the central bank has tended to offer more of the bills at the primary auction at the long end of the market, at the 1 year end. And if you look at the pattern of today's demand and supply, there was demand was 3 times supply at the 1 year end, and then just slightly above supply at the 91 days. So it looks like they've profiled the behavioral pattern very well. There was some slight depreciation from 2 weeks ago, a little bit at the 91 days, maybe 10.3, and then we've seen a slip back. 182 and 364 days are now sub 12%.
Okay, now, of course, we're seeing liquidity levels continue to increase in the system as OMO and primary market maturity today. Run through that for us.
Well, we haven't seen any OMO sales this week, any OMO auctions, which is unusual because typically central bank tends to match when they know there are maturities with offers. We haven't seen any. Maybe we'll see one tomorrow. We have about 200 billion, maybe slightly above, maybe 230 billion of OMO maturing today. That has come into the system, maturing tomorrow, sorry. So maybe we'll see an OMO an auction to match it. But for the primary, 157 matured and 157 was on offer, but the tenors have changed, so there's been an elongation in the maturity profile.
Obviously, as you mentioned, there no OMO auction, and lots of analysts expecting trading in the T-bills market to remain bullish as a result. So give us an update on trading today.
Well, yes, well, it was. We've seen what has happened. There's been some losses. Both the bills, fixed income securities generally, there's been a lot of interest, and that tends to push down the yields and bring up the prices. So for both bills and bonds, that's been the trend. The bonds are still trading. Depending on the tenor, they're all trading above 11%, 11.75, 11.6.
But where are you seeing the buying focus?
It's been mixed. Maybe 2017 has had the most interest, more than 1 Naira appreciation on the price to 118, I think.
Let's quickly move on to bonds there. Of course, you know, as the T-bill market, of course, you know, offering attractive yields. So do you expect to see more soft selling in the bond market?
Yes, definitely, because it's still attractive, and when you match that with the fact that the Naira is stable to appreciating, even in the interbank, it's appreciating, that tends to make people very comfortable with investments in Nigeria.